Okay, this is Dot and Ken's ice cream, and there are a couple tricky parts in this problem, so I thought it was worthwhile to go over. But I'm not sure if these video solutions are worthwhile for you, so maybe I won't do them all. But let me know if there's something that you need, okay? But they use a mixing department and a freezing department, okay? It's process costing system, and the mixing department has two direct material cost categories: ice cream mix and flavorings, and one conversion cost pool. Okay, the pool data pertaining to the mixing department is for April. So they started 10,000 gallons rather. They completed and transferred 8,500. Beginning work in process is 0. But notice how they did not give you ending work in process here. Okay, so you've got to be able to figure that out. And then the other part that's tricky here, well, there are two more tricky parts. So we've got ice cream mix, flavorings, and conversion. We've got two materials here. Alright, so we've got that. And then the next piece that's tricky is that the ice cream mix is introduced at the start of operations. So that would be 100% complete in the mixing department. And the flavorings are added when the product is 40% complete. Okay? Now they say the conversion costs are added evenly during the process, and the ending work in process and mixing is 30% complete. So if that's the case, then none of the flavorings would have been added yet, okay, because they haven't reached 40%. Alright, so let's take a look at the solution, and I'll put this back up if we need it. Wish that was a little brighter. So our beginning work in process is 0, and we started 10,000, so we've got 10,000 units to account for. Okay, now we know we completed and transferred 8,500, so ending work in process must be 1,500 units, because that would comprise our 10,000 units. Okay, so then for equivalent units, we've got 3 columns. I've got mixing, flavorings, and conversion. My completed and transferred would be 100% complete, so that's 8,500 units for each category. My ending work in process is 1,500 units, so that's 1,500. The mix is added right at the beginning of the period, so that's the full 1,500 units. Flavorings haven't hit yet because they're only at 30% of production. And for conversion, where are we? Conversion, we're at 30%, right? Yeah, we're at 30%. Let me put a 30% here. Well, I'll put it here. So that would be 450 equivalent units. So then there are my total equivalent units for each piece: mixing, flavorings, and conversion. The next thing we do is look at our costs. Now we had no beginning work in process, so we look at just the numbers that were added. And they added 27,000 for mixing, 4,080 for flavorings, and 53,700 for conversion. Divide that by my equivalent units, my total equivalent units, and this is a weighted average. Gives me a cost per equivalent unit, and I usually add it up and get a total cost right there. Okay, 918. The other thing I do is I add up the total costs that were added, so that's 84,780, and that's what I have to make sure that I get out of the process, or that I assign to inventory. So now we're ready to assign it. So we have cost per equivalent unit. My completed and transferred are 8,500 units, right? 8,500 units and completed and transferred, that's right there. And by definition, they're 100% complete, times $9.18 per unit is 78,030. That's what would get transferred to the next department, which is freezing. And then in ending work in process, you've got to watch these equivalent units. Be careful with this one step. We're up here in ending work in process, and my equivalent units for mixing are 1,500 units at 270. And flavorings is 0, and conversion is 450 units at $6. So this would be our ending work in process, $67.50, and when I add up the total that I assigned, it equals the total, oh, here it is, $84,780 that was brought into the process. Okay, all right.